Oh, by the way, one summer when I was a seminary student, I worked at a church in North Carolina as an intern, and I lived with a member of the church. And she was a true Southern lady. Remember, this is North Carolina, a true Southern lady. And she could tell you things and make you think that she was complimenting you and not. You know, like one evening I came in and she was sitting in the living room probably reading her Bible. She was that kind of lady, just sitting there in the evening reading her Bible. And she was sitting on the settee. And she patted next to her, said, Aaron, come here and sit down next to me. And she had the smile on her face. And she looked at me and she said, I've been watching you all summer and I just don't see much in you. Are you sure about this ministry thing? And the way she said it, I felt like she was kind of complimenting me, and later, like, she was not complimenting me in any way. But, I took that, I plowed on through seminary, and I started ministry as a pastor of 2 small country churches outside of Chillicothe, Missouri. And one of those little churches wrote a history a few years back, and they sent me a copy. And so, of course, what's the first thing I did when I get this copy in the mail, the history of this church? I open it up looking for myself. And I want to quote verbatim what they said about me at this church that I worked at for a year. Here it is. Aaron Brown. Aaron Brown was single. He was only with us a year. That's it. Am I building confidence in myself here? Are you and you and me? I don't know. What a huge impression. Well, after that, I was an associate pastor for about 3 years in Blue Springs, and I never even knew how to abbreviate associate pastor. I wasn't the guy. I wasn't the guy leading the church. I wasn't the guy on stage. I was pretty much behind the scenes. I had an office, no windows in it, and 60s furniture. And back then, it wasn't vintage. It was just crusty, right? And all that to say, for most of my life, there was nothing going on, nothing anybody saw in me. But I feel like I've been a part of some really great things. And I've led through some really great things and become a good leader. But there wasn't much there to work with. And I say that, but as I look back and as I look at the life of David, there were seeds that God saw and used to bring about some great things. And here's what I believe about every person. Listen, I believe this about every person. There are seeds of greatness in everyone. I love this verse of the Bible. It's Ephesians 2:10. Paul is writing, and take these words to be words to you. He says, you are God's masterpiece, created in Christ Jesus to do great things. My 1% moment, I think after the Joplin tornado. After the Joplin tornado, Governor Nixon, Jay Nixon was the governor at the time, he met with all the clergy of the city, got us all together, and then afterwards he took a few of us aside whose churches were hit by the tornado and met with us personally. And in that meeting, for some reason, he asked me if I would speak at the Joplin memorial service alongside him and President Obama. And it was a big deal. I mean, I was really honored. And you might think that I'm kind of bragging about that a little bit. Just so you know, when I told my friends about that, the first thing out of their mouths was, just don't fart in front of the president, Aaron. Got to have those people in your life. But they gave me 9 minutes. 9 minutes. I didn't know it at the time, but it was being broadcast around the world. 9 minutes. And in those 9 minutes, I got to comfort my community. In those 9 minutes, I got to talk to a few million people about hope and grace and the meaning of love. I got to tell a few million people of the power of Jesus and the meaning of his resurrection. I got to tell those people that even when it looks like death wins, life wins every time. The 99% of life that nobody sees gets you ready for that 1% when they do see.